Well, good morning. It's a little bit of a chilly November morning. We got a few things on tap today. We're going to get our potatoes in our high tunnel all dug up and everything and ready for the holidays. We are, Debbie's actually over there picking all the seeds off of her asparagus plants because that's going to get all cut down today. So, got a few things going on. Give you a little update on Gladys. Gladys is our former meat chicken. She's doing well. She's made friends with everybody else, and they're getting along well. She hasn't started laying in eggs yet, but we'll see how that goes. Oh, and I almost forgot. I want to do an update today on our costs for raising our meat birds. We did White Rangers this year instead of our Freedom Rangers, and I want to give you a little overview of how our costs vary between those two birds and which ones we like the best. So, but Deb's up here. She's picking all these seeds that have the, or berries that have the seeds.
Yeah, these are female plants that have the seeds in them or the berries on them, and this will give us more asparagus. The birds eat them, and then the seeds get spread everywhere. So I wind up with asparagus growing up wherever I don't want it. But we're hoping to put these in the freezer, and then maybe next spring when we dig up the garden at the new place, I can get some asparagus started there.
Just cut them close to the bottom as you can, and I'll pick them up and line them up. Start grabbing them. It started out with some straight rows, but as the seeds fell and more grew, it just became one big mess of asparagus.
I use the weed whacker for this. Some of these are kind of thick, but I think this is going to work better. I think that's
up and then go back to.
Yeah, there must be a few that miss, but
well, we gotta get those. We don't want any of it in here.
I mean, some people burn their asparagus to the ground. I don't.
We just throw
it. They want a fire in my garden, but
no, we just need to throw it, compost it in the woods somewhere away from our compost pile in case.
Yeah. All cleared. Ready for next year. So we got a couple beets left in the ground. Everything else is pretty much out of the garden, but
yeah, these I had already picked a bunch and made some pickled beets, so these are still in the ground. You see if I can get them out without damaging them. Look, there's nothing there. Something ate it.
Oh, look at that.
Let's see if there's anything on this one. No,
completely eaten.
It's eaten.
Nope. And they ate that one too. So much for those
beets. Well, I'm glad I made pickled beets with the other ones.
So how does that make you feel?
Sad. That's all right. I got I think 6 jars of pickled beets, so that'll be enough for the year. That'll be fine. Give these to the chickens. They'll eat the tops.
Well, sometimes you lose out. The animals have to eat too, and you know, sometimes you lose part of your harvest.
I got some out of it, so I'm fine.
Come on, Gladys. Get your share. We do still have carrots growing out here under the plastic here in our raised beds. Trying to keep those going as long as possible. We planted them kind of late, so we're going to see what we get. But these ones are doing pretty good, so we're hopeful that we'll get something. Okay, so we're going to go down to the high tunnel now. Get our potatoes out. So we'll have fresh potatoes for Thanksgiving. And hopefully enough extra to last a good portion of the winter. We'll probably can some of these. We don't have much more room in the freezer, and we don't do good in our basement storing them. So we like to preserve them in some way, other than just storing them in the basement because they start to grow pretty rapidly down there. So we are going to go in the high tunnel and harvest some potatoes.
Oh,
Nice and warm in here.
Warm in here.
camera's
And
fogging
my
up.
glasses are gonna fog up, I can tell.
The camera's fogging up too, but we're gonna start digging out these potatoes.
All right. There's 2 rows, so I don't know how we're gonna do this.
We'll just do them both at the same time, and we'll just...
I got that one with...
What you got, Aussie? Huh? What'd you find? Yeah, just like the carrots, she likes the potatoes. We're having a lot of eating potatoes. We're getting a little harvest, not the greatest.
It'll be enough for Thanksgiving dinner. Here. Afraid I'm gonna stick them. That wasn't too bad for that. Let's see if we get more.
These are all our half-eaten ones.
And then we'll go through the potatoes once we wash them and see if there's more that we missed.
Not the greatest harvest, but these were just potatoes that we had lying around. They were all kind of small little potatoes that had started sprouting. So it didn't cost us anything to plant these. It was our second crop down here, so we'll make do with what we got.
I think that's all.
So I wanted to talk to you about our meat birds, and I wanted to compare last year to this year. Because we did a slightly different thing this year. Last year, we raised Freedom Rangers and broad-breasted white turkeys. We started out with 30 Freedom Ranger chicks, 8 broad-breasted white turkeys. The difference with that is the Freedom Rangers we ordered and had shipped to our local post office, but the broad-breasted white turkeys, we got those from a local farm supply. We raised those in the spring. This year, we did White Rangers and the broad-breasted white turkeys. The difference is we mail ordered all of those because we weren't sure we could get the broad-breasted white turkeys locally. So we had 30 White Rangers and 8 broad-breasted white turkeys delivered to us this year. We raised them in the fall this year. We did the spring last year. We had commitments this spring, so we had to switch everything to fall production. So that's kind of the reason why we went to the White Rangers this year. Also, the Freedom Rangers weren't available for the time frame that we wanted. We wanted to see if it was more efficient to do these White Rangers because there is a shorter time to processing for the White Rangers. The Freedom Rangers typically take about 10 to 12 weeks. We process, when we do Freedom Rangers, we process the roosters at 10 weeks and the hens at 12 weeks. With the White Rangers, we were able to process all the birds at 8 weeks, a substantial saving in moving birds because we move birds twice a day when they're outside. We could shorten that time up. That 8-week time period eliminated 4 weeks of moves twice a day. So that's over 50 moves that we did not have to do with those birds. The turkeys still take 14 weeks either way we're doing them, so we still had to move those. But we saved substantially on the amount of labor to move those birds every single day with the White Rangers. So how do they perform? Well, the first thing is we do raise all our birds organically. We used the same feed last year as we did this year. Difference was this year we used 19 bags of feed. Last year we used 22 bags of feed. Now you might right away say, oh, well, that's a savings because there was less feed involved. And it is, but there's a few caveats that have to go with that. This year we did lose a couple of our broad-breasted white turkeys. We lost 2 of them shortly after shipping as chicks. We were able to replace them locally, which we were surprised to be able to find them, but we lost 2 of them at about 11, 12 weeks of age. So they were in that 10-pound category. A bird that size does eat, a decent amount of feed, but they're not eating the way these, Freedom Ranger or White Ranger chicks are because of just the vast more numbers that we have. So we kind of figure it might have been close to a wash feed-wise if we had gotten all of those turkeys to harvest. I think we would have saved maybe about 1 bag of feed. That being said, we processed our White Rangers at 8 weeks. Last year we did the Freedom Rangers at 10 and 12 weeks. how do we do pound-wise? So last year, we harvested 27 Freedom Rangers, 8 broad-breasted white turkeys for a total of 244 or 245 pounds of meat that actually went into our freezer. This year, we harvested 28 white Rangers, but only 6 of our turkeys went to harvest 8. But we still ended up with 237 pounds of meat going into our freezer. So we were pretty close. Our expenses, however, were kind of surprising because this year, shipping of the birds went up substantially. Last year we paid $20 to have all of the Freedom Rangers shipped to our home. This year, to get the white Rangers and those turkeys shipped was $65. So that was a $45 increase. Also, by mail ordering our broad-breasted white turkeys, they were about $2 a bird more expensive than what we had last year. So there was substantial cost increase there. The total costs were almost equal for both years. I think we were $1,037 this year, and we were like $1,042, $43 last year. So there wasn't that big of a difference in the cost-wise. And even though we lost some turkeys this year, our price per pound of meat that went to our freezer was almost identical. Our cost per pound of meat that went to our freezer for all of our birds last year was $4.26 per pound. This year, our cost per pound for all the birds that went to our freezer was $4.38 a pound. So what did we learn comparing last year to this year? Well, I think the biggest takeaway for us is that if we do white Rangers, we can get the same amount of meat in a shorter amount of time, and that's a big deal. I mean, that's 4 weeks of moving birds that we don't have to do. That's 56 moves, so that time can go towards something else that we have to do here on the farm. So I think we're going to be doing our white Rangers next year and our broad-breasted white turkeys. I think also that because we know we can get the broad-breasted white turkeys in the springtime locally, we can save some money on the birds there, also save some money on shipping, and I think our overall cost per pound will go down and we'll probably be at the most efficient level that we've had with anything we've done so far. So we look forward to seeing how that works out next year. But I want to thank you once again for joining us here on Sunny Side Up Farm. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comments below. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, we certainly would appreciate you subscribing to our channel. We want to thank all our viewers out there that watch our videos and that have subscribed to our channel. We really do appreciate it. So until next time here on Sunny Side Up Farm, as always, we hope all your days are sunny side up.